Hey guys, Booligan here. Booligan Airsoft, Airsoft Insider, part 2 of my whole collection video series. This time we're looking at the handguns, pistols. We're going to take a look really quickly, some of them that we talked about in the last video. If you didn't watch that, be sure to watch it. But you've got St. Jolene, WE 1911 based. You've got the Sword 9mm. You've got the High Kappa. You've got the Echo 1 and PTS Battle Wolf, which now that I think about it, I forgot to talk about in the last video, but here it is. We'll take a quick look. Echo 1 Timberwolf based PTS Battle Comp Slide EVIC sourced fiber optic sights, which I installed myself. Threaded barrel, custom stippled grips, a very, very cool little combat oriented pistol. But one of you guys don't realize that there's a whole lot of pistols right here. Most of the time this is really cluttered and you can't see crap. So we will take a tour of the pistols. Sig X5. This is the performance, like practical shooting oriented version of the 226. This one has seen better days. It is a little beat up, but it still works very well. Powered by a CO2 magazine, flared magwell, extended beaver tail grip, and it comes with the optional top rail attachment. Next you have a VFC M&P9C. This is the one that is fully automatic. Very comfortable. It actually almost convinced me to buy an M&P9C, but it just was not in the budget at the time. Many of you remember this. Man, this thing is in terrible, terrible shape. But this is my W.E. Browning high power that I painted gold for reasons as part of the match set to that one. If you may remember my Booligan's Bad Decision video series, this was the one that was in the gold dictator guns video that people seemed to like, except for dictators, because they don't like anything. This is a Cyma G18C AEP. This is the one that is part of my infamous Glock pod. I have a little rail-to-rail mount that I can throw on here, mounted on the bottom of anything with a rail, and add a nice little bit of extra firepower. These are a lot of fun. If you have not messed with an AEP like this, you need to, because they are awesome. Super inexpensive. You can't get the Glock ones anymore in the US, but they were a lot of fun. This is one of the first guns that I ever reviewed. Did a written and video review on this. This is a TSD USP. TSD, I don't even think exists as a company anymore, which is kind of a bummer, because they were one of my first sponsors. This whole channel would not be possible without them. So it's always a bummer to kind of see that they're not that active in the scene anymore. But this is a simple gas blowback. It was two-tone. This was like a matte silver color, but I painted it black. Added some grip tape to it. And full auto, semi-auto, just a very cool, very reliable. This thing is almost 10 years old and it still shoots great. It's shockingly well built. This is an ASG CZP09. This is the first generation model, not the later model that comes with a threaded barrel. I've got one of those over there. This one, I did the opposite that I did to that TSD, and this one I painted the slide a matte silver color. And I really like it. It's very Bad Boys too. And I've got some kind of funny things in mind that I want to do with this and with the other one. So stay tuned to see what I end up doing on that one. You wouldn't be a baller if you didn't have a Salient Arms International pistol. And this is the Salient Arms M&P, available at evic.com with all the correct slide cutouts and things like that. It just looks great. It shoots great. And it's VFC based, so it has that full auto selector switch inside as well. Fiber optic sights, just a great, great pistol. They're a little pricey compared to other M&Ps, but you're really paying for that licensed Salient Arms name and look. Another AEP, this time a USP AEP. Do not recall who makes this. This is very, very old as well. China made. This might be DE. This might be a Double Eagle USP. I'm not positive on that though, so I'll have to do a little bit of research and see who made this. But AEPs, I had a thing for a while with AEPs, and I basically bought every AEP that I could get my hands on. They're really fun. They make awesome little projects, and they're pretty easy to use. Only limitation you have with them really is that battery. Next up, KWA ATP Auto. This is the first gen ATP Auto. The new gen ATP Auto, frankly, is a little bit better, and I like it a whole lot, but The one that I reviewed, I had to send back to KWA, and I'm not too thrilled about that. But it happens sometimes. But this guy, based off of a G18 platform, obviously, but just tricked out enough with enough, you know, comfort features, ergonomic features, and non-trademark features to make it fully legal and ready to use. This is a Tanfoglio Limited, basically a variation of the CZ75, manufactured by KWC and brought in by Cybergun, I believe. These are CO2 powered, and they're just designed for, you know, practical shooting competitions with an extended beaver tail. These really strangely comfortable full metal grips, textured front and back straps, and then threaded holes for mounting their proprietary rail mount. A couple of grenade launchers, a long one, and two short ones. I have pistol grips I can throw on these when I want to use them, but they're actually a lot of fun. This guy, I decided to put a flip-up sight on it, so it's actually a little bit more useful now. You can actually aim with this. And these are a lot of fun, both in CQB and for shooting foam projectiles. On this side, we have the ICS BLE Alpha, Black Leopard Eye. Kind of a funky name for a gun, but honestly, one of the best gas blowback pistols I have ever used. And I mean that. This thing works so well. It is very accurate. It is very gas efficient. It's just kind of a funky design with a funky name. It's got fully ambidextrous controls, which I love. Slide release either side. Very easy to use sights. And it kind of takes like the best designs of a couple of different guns and puts them all into one non-licensed package, because it doesn't need any licenses, because it is a unique standalone pistol. I'm very excited to see what ICS continues to spit out in their gas blowback department. This is my other CZ75. It's missing a couple things right now, namely a rear sight. I have a rear doctor style red dot sight that normally would be on here, but that is currently on a different gun right now. So this is just kind of a little flat top. But this is the later version that has the threaded barrel protector, CO2 magazine, but otherwise is fully compatible with all the parts on the earlier one. So I can swap around slides and things like that as desired. This is my missing some parts James Bond gun. What I would think James Bond would use, at least. It's a new Beretta PX4 made by WE. This is back when you could still kind of get the PX4 branded one, so these are kind of a little bit of a unicorn right now. All the ones now have, I think, Bulldog, I think that's what they're calling it now, but it has these, spilling BBs, it has the correct tilting, you see the rotating barrel breech action, so it works like it should. And I just have an extended inner barrel. I've got a threaded adapter and a suppressor that I can throw on there and get my little secret agent man on. But that is a very fun little pistol. This is a crappy spring powered, no, this is the gas one, excuse me. Crappy gas powered revolver, missing a whole lot of parts, missing all the shells, but it looks real cool. Moving on to the cooler revolvers though, the ones that actually work. This is a Wingun model 702, I believe. Let's take a look. 701, excuse me, Super Sport 701. Not hop-up equipped, shoots entirely too hot, like 400 plus FPS, but does have the proper swing out cylinder. Slide that in, I like that a whole lot. Next to that you have a much better revolver. This revolver is the ASG Dan Wesson. Now this guy is just about perfect. And it's soon to be joined by the new Dan Wesson revolver from ASG that will have some rails on it and a shorter barrel. This has hop up, which is awesome. Full compatible cylinder and shells with the other Dan Wesson models. And the new versions actually come with a new cylinder design, and you can use moon clips with them. They have their own moon clips, which is kind of awesome. Quick way to load instead of having to have that bulky reloader. KWA Mac 11. This is a Gen 1. This is a very old one. It's a little finicky sometimes. The blowback chamber in it isn't perfect, but it is still there. The SOCOM Gear Gymtech 22 long rifle. Gymtech Oasis, I believe. Yeah, Gymtech Oasis. These are very inexpensive, but they do have hop up. They just have that kind of integral suppressed 22 look to them, and are just a very, very cool looking gun that I don't think sold particularly well. They shoot a little hot, if I recall my data on this one. Velocity is a little bit high on them. They're a little hard to reload because they do have like that heel mag release instead of a button. You don't have a lot of room. You have a heavy trigger pull, and it is double action only. But otherwise, just a unique pistol, very compact. You could do some pretty cool stuff with this, especially if you want to do like a Star Wars custom build. You could do some cool stuff with that. And the last pistol that we're taking a look at on here, this isn't my last pistol. We're going to have a video, I think we're going to do a bonus video at the end of this whole series called Everything Else, which is everything that's not on the wall, not on here, not in my separate gun room, which will be the next video, but just everything else. But this guy, Mark 23. This is a non-blowback Mark 23, which is a clone of the Tokyo Marui. I believe this is KJW who made these. This has been modified substantially. It has internal sound deadening inside the gun to quiet all those little clicks and wiggles and things like that that happen when you shoot it. It has a light here mounted on the front, attached to a standard 20mm rail instead of the proprietary one. And then in here, you have an extended 6.01mm tight bore barrel. This is an old DB Customs barrel. That's going to age myself in this industry a little bit. DB Customs made barrels that were awesome. They were 6.01. They were one of the first 6.01 tight bore barrels on the scene. Super, super high quality. But this is a silent assassin gun. This thing can get accurate torso hits with 0.28 gram BBs out to about 175, 180 plus feet if the conditions are right. Has a great adjustable hop up and is perfectly silent. You can't even, the loudest part of this when you fire it is that hammer dropping. It's a, like a butterfly fart. And that's what this gun is. This is the butterfly fart. So that's the pistols that we have here in the studio. There are more pistols. I've got a couple of other projects that are recent, that are over at the other place at the workshop. I've got like things like that Elite Force Hater. I've got a couple of other things which we're going to cover in the Everything Else video, which will be the part 4 of this video series that we're doing. So thanks for toughing out this long video with me, and stay tuned for more. This whole week is going to be looking at everything. You guys have been asking for this, and damn it, you're going to get it. So you better watch it. Thanks for watching.